1.
Let's go. This is my 80s podcast. You put the boom boom into my heart. If you love the 80s, you're exactly where you should be. So please, please, please take a look at this. I hope you're beautiful. My name's Jason, and this is You Put the Boom Boom Into My Heart. Right, this is something different. So I've been asked to talk about fair rides in the 80s as a kid. They were probably out in the 70s as well, but they most probably were. But I remember them as a 10, 11-year-old in the early 80s. So I've been asked to talk about this, which is a twister, and this, which is the Waltzes, and this. I mean, it's called the rotation, I think, but loads of people call it completely different things. So we'll start off with the twister. So I remember as a kid going to the fair, all excited, and going on the twister with my sisters, and not knowing that if I sat at this in the end bit, that I was going to get the absolute life crushed out of me. And I remember being, I'll go there. So I got on, got two sisters next to me, and it's just, I mean, it's a brilliant ride, but not even as an adult, it's not. And I remember being on it and feeling like someone had just crushed every part of my body. Because as you know, it flings you out, and it's that force thing that, and as much as I was telling my sisters to try and pull themselves up, if they got themselves up slightly, they would slam back down. And I remember thinking, oh my God, is this ever going to stop? But as a kid, you loved it. But as an adult, not on your life. But I always remember as a kid being absolutely obsessed with a twister, even though you felt like every part of your body had been broken, but you still went on it. Why did we still go on it? The twister was just, I mean, it was made to hurt people. Well, I shouldn't say it made to hurt people, I'll get in trouble, but it was made to crush every bone in your little body. But it was great fun. You loved you couldn't stop laughing as well. That's what I found really bizarre, is that when I used to go on the twister, as much as whether it was sisters or friends used to go on, I always ended up that bit, and they used to I'd say, pull yourself up, and they'd pull themselves up, and the G-force would spring them back, and they would slam into you like, oh, it was just the most painful thing. So if you remember the twister, and you were that unlucky person that was, it was at a corner, but if you were the first one in, as it flung round, you was absolutely uffed up, if I'm being honest. But I did go on it loads of times, still got crushed, tried to go on at the other end, but then I used to crush my sister, so it wasn't a thing to do, so I was told. Not the fact it was all right for them to sit there and crush me. So that was a twister. And now let's talk about the absolutely amazing rotation, it was called. So if you've never been on the rotation, basically we all queued up for it. We all got really excited for it, and you got in there. And for me personally, it just used to look like, not that I've ever been in a dungeon. It used to be, it was like you was enclosed in this really, it wasn't dark, but it just felt really dungeony. And you thought, oh, all these different colours on it, I'll be fine. Especially the first time you ever went on it, and you'd stand there with your friends, and all of a sudden this thing would spin round. Then within seconds, you spinning around, you was pinned. And I remember being pinned like that to the side, and just not being able to. If you move your head, it just flung back. And I remember a girl that was. She was a bit pinned up, a bit high up. I think she jumped up, and it pinned her up. And she kept saying, I'm going to be sick. And all I kept thinking was, I'm facing you. And as I'm trying to pull my face away to stop whatever was going to come out of her mouth, but it was just too late, because I remember her spewing up. But luckily, G-force made it go straight back in the face. And I shouldn't laugh. You should not laugh. So anyone watching this, do not laugh at me watching someone when I was a 10-year-old, 11-year-old being pinned to the side of a machine by G-force, spewing up, and literally hitting her back in the face. And the thing is, it's a bit like any other ride. The more the girls screamed, or the more the people shouted, I'm sure they used to go faster, because they'd sit there going, let me hear you scream. I mean, now it's frowned upon, but honestly, I think it's called the rotation. I think it was called so many other things, and you just couldn't move. You could not move any part of your body. I would love to go on it now and see what it's like now, but I'm not sure whether they do it anymore. But I remember the rotation being the big thing. Everybody went on it. And when you see videos or see pictures of it, I just think, why? It literally tilted it an angle and you were just spun and pinned. And I kept thinking, not as a teenager, not as a 10-year-old, but as I got older, if that ever come off, you put your head in between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye, wouldn't you? Because you would have no chance. Well, you probably be like, still pinned to it. But that was the rotation. I went on it many times. As warped as it sounds, the rotation was just, and we all queued, and we went off it, hated it, and then queued and went back on it. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that poor girl did. I can't remember. I think she got off it and never went on it again. And let's talk about the waltzes. The waltzes for me used to make me feel physically sick as a 10, 11-year-old. Luckily, you were like that. So it was like you were spinning around. And the blokes used to come on, didn't they? And the worst thing is if I used to go on with a female friend who was squealing, it's like you just wanted to tell her to shut the up, because the more she screamed, the more them blokes spun them around, and terrible, terrible time. I think as an adult, it's probably even worse because your neck would be over the end of it. Well, at least as a kid, you were like that, and you come a bit high up here. But I have been on it as an adult. Hurts your neck even more than spinning round. It hurts your neck. But that's what I remember about the amazing waltzes. Say amazing waltzes. I don't think do they still do them? I've not been on a fair for a long time, so I have no idea if they still do them. But the waltzes for me used to make me feel physically sick. The twister used to break every bone in my body. And the rotation was just something out of the, I mean, when you think the early 80s, it was like something really new, and none of us realised it. And you just literally pinned to the, and it's when you tried to get, and eventually when they slowed it down and stopped, thank the Lord I was only that far off the floor, because you just dropped onto the floor. These people that had pinned themselves at the top must have felt like they were just breaking every bone in their legs as they dropped. But that was my review of some great 80s fair rides. So the waltzes, I would give, God, how many? I'll probably give it, to be honest, for the fun value, they're all like 5 out of 5, to be honest, if you're being really honest. But I preferred, I preferred the rotation, to be fair. As much as that pin jot and some girl throwing her guts up on me, it was just a lot more less. The twister used to feel like every part of my body was being broken, and the waltzes used to make me feel physically sick. But some great times. As a 10-year-old, 11-year-old in the 80s, I mean, we used to go fair on our own as well, which makes it even worse. Do you know? Well, the fair was just down the road from us, but you know, it's like we did a lot more than we should have done. It's like, some money, go on the fair and go and enjoy yourself. So if you remember the rotation, if you remember the waltzes, if you remember the twister, I think they still do their twister and the waltzes now. I don't think they do the rotation anymore. I'm not sure. Please let me know in the comments if you remember these and if you enjoyed them. And if not, welcome to the club. So please have an amazing day. Follow, like, share. Tell your friends about my great 80s podcast. And if you enjoy the 80s, please check out some of this. Give me a subscribe, give me a follow, give me a like, give me a comment. But most of all, have an amazing day. And let's not go on the waltzes again. Have a good day, beautiful lot. How brilliant was that? So if you love the 80s like I do, please go over to my podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts and give me a share, a like, and a comment, and a subscribe. And also follow me. Y'all come back now. You hear?